Another former WWE superstar is set to return to the company. Also, WWE is making a huge change to a faction that currently exists on SmackDown, and we are going to talk about an AEW last-minute booking decision, and we're going to break that down right here on the Ango Show. You know we got to talk about it, ladies and gentlemen. Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin won the AEW World Tag Team Championships last night on AEW Dynamite. And what's actually really interesting is that Fightful Select has come out and reported that this was a last-minute decision because as of months ago, there was no plans for them to be tag team champions. The internal claim was that the Hurt Syndicate as tag team champions was not the plan a couple of months ago. And obviously, a lot of people have mixed opinions on this. Let me just say everything that I need to say right here, right now. Huge fan of Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin. Huge fan of the way they've been presented in AEW. A big miss for the WWE. But I hate that this came at the expense of Private Party. I think when you look at Private Party winning the belts off the Young Bucks, I think maybe they've had 2 defenses total. Very little TV time, very little meaning to anything they've done. And beating the Young Bucks is such a big deal. Winning those tag team championships was such a big deal. And I thought that maybe that was the turning point for AEW in which they would, bring more emphasis to the tag team division. That wasn't the case. And I do feel like they were robbed of having a very good and unique title reign, especially at a time where maybe in WWE and AEW, tag team wrestling isn't a primary focus. And man, I'm just disappointed. I'm disappointed that AEW decided to make the last minute change. I'm disappointed that AEW didn't do anything with with the Private Party. I'm disappointed in the fact that Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin, the way they won, I'm disappointed in how they've done that. I feel like this could have been something that they could have built up for at least a month or two. You got AEW Grand Slam in Australia, and then you have AEW Revolution. I would have really, I wouldn't have minded Private Party having a shorter reign, but at least building it up a little bit more. Yeah, I do feel like that was disappointing in my opinion. And I think that kind of goes to show you what the issue is with AEW. They don't really have long-term plans. Call me a grifter, call me a hater, call me whatever you want. I like both teams. Why not build this up? And they didn't. And it's obvious that a lot of people feel the same way. And that's disappointing. So, listen, AEW made that last minute choice. That's fine. I have no problem with the Hurt Syndicate winning. They should have waited a little bit longer and built it up a little bit more properly. But that's Tony Khan for you. And that's going to bring us to our next topic. Solo Sikoa and the Bloodline are set to make a major change. According to WrestleVotes on Backstage Pass, WWE is essentially going away from calling Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, Jacob Fatu the Bloodline. Obviously, this is a change that's been made because Solo Sikoa lost the title Tribal Chief, and it looks like this faction is being rebranded to something new. Now, I'm going to tell you guys my honest opinion. I love this variation of the Bloodline. I love these guys. I think they're doing great. I think Solo Sikoa running that group is great. I'm very, very curious to see how WWE follows up with these guys and what they do to make them a big faction. Jacob Fatu eventually taking over and maybe them throwing out Solo Sikoa is the play. I don't know. WWE has to tread very carefully here because Solo Sikoa lost. And this is the first time actually in the entire Bloodline saga, I would say this is the first time where things are a little unpredictable because we don't really have a clear answer as to what the road is to WrestleMania for Roman Reigns. We don't necessarily know what the clear plan is for Solo Sikoa. And, I'm at the stage where maybe I believe Jacob Fatu versus Solo Sikoa is the next move. But then I kind of wonder, okay, how are you going to brand the faction? What is the group going to be called? How are you going to differentiate them from the first time they were the Bloodline? I don't know. And it's weird because even with Roman winning the Ula Fala, it's not like the original Bloodline is truly back together. So I don't know why they're moving away from the branding. I guess I understand it, but at the same time, I don't. What I will tell you guys is this, though. If you guys are watching SmackDown, you guys are watching Raw, do you agree that maybe they should keep Solo Sikoa and the group together? Do you think it should just be Solo being removed and then breaking away from the entire thing? I feel like a lot of us kind of guessed or assumed or speculated that The Rock would be leading the group, and we haven't really seen them get into that. So I'm curious as to what's going to happen there. But it is what it is, man. The WWE has a gap in this story, and it's all because of The Rock, and The Rock is not there, and I think it's really hurting the storyline. So, and it makes things confusing going into WrestleMania, and I'm not a fan of it. Love the group. I love the talent. I love every part of the storyline so far. But when it comes to The Rock and where he stands with this group, there's been so many hints that he's been running things from afar. And now, obviously, they have no continuity on that. So hopefully they could bounce back and try to figure it out. But they're making a major change here. And it might not be a change that's good if they don't figure it out soon. And that brings us to our next topic. Nikki Bella is in talks to come back to WWE. WrestleVotes has reported that we are told significant discussions have taken place regarding a Nikki Bella return to action, with a strong expectation from multiple WWE sources that it will happen sooner rather than later. Cool. I'm excited about it. Nikki Bella coming back to the company, that's fine. She was outspoken. She didn't like WWE for a little bit of time. She had her issues with the WWE. Time heals all wounds. That's completely fine. When it comes to Nikki Bella returning, I think she's a good talent. I think she's a good name. I think there's a lot of value there. I look forward to seeing what WWE does with her. However, I am not looking for part-timers. So I want to see Nikki Bella show up on TV, be an integral part of the women's division, whether it's Raw, whether it's SmackDown. I think that's important to acknowledge. At the same time, I do not expect Brie Bella to be returning, so I highly recommend that you guys don't get your hopes up. I think Brie Bella is done with wrestling. I think Nikki Bella will be there as a singles act, doing her thing. And there's a lot of people that she can mix it up with, and there's a lot of stories you can tell. It's going to be really interesting to see where she fits in the WWE with this current generation of talent, because the business has passed by. And with more time passing by, it makes you wonder. Last thing I will say, this is probably the most important aspect to it all. If Nikki Bella is going to return at the Royal Rumble and that's it, I'm not a fan. Don't waste the spot. When you have the partnership with TNA and you could do some surprises or NXT call-ups, don't waste the Royal Rumble spot for Nikki Bella to show up and get eliminated, and that's it. However, if Nikki Bella is in the company long-term, then I think there's a lot of opportunity there. So that's what I would like to see. That's how I hope it all unfolds. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the Angle Show. I appreciate you guys all watching, and make sure you guys click subscribe for more videos like this.